Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Saturday night pregame. We want to thank repeat listeners, and if this is your first time listening to us, thank you for joining us tonight. We got a special little fun show here. We're going to be getting down and dirty. We got a boy who might be turning a little 31, so we got a bunch of surprises for him. If you like what you listen to, if you repeat, please subscribe, let somebody else know. You can check us out at the podcast S&P on Instagram and Twitter. We got a ton of shit on there. Oh, well, I guess.
Yes.
Is that
yes, it is.
Okay, so if you're a first-time listener, we try our best to get to 15 minutes.
Is it abbreviation of Dookie? You can't say that one?
I don't think you can anymore.
I think we can say it on TV, so.
I don't know.
But okay, so podcast S&P for Twitter and Instagram. Check us out. We have a ton of stuff.
I guess you because earmuffs and go shit.
Yeah, maybe. You're right. Would you say it in front of a 2-year-old? I guess is where you got to go with it. And the reason we do the 15 minutes again is
I would say anything in front of a 2-year-old. They don't know what to say. I have no idea.
Until they learn words, Joe, and then you're screwed.
You got to talk to Frank and see what's the time frame we can not swear in front of his child anymore. Email us at the S&P podcast at gmail.com. We've got shirts. Check out our Instagram. They're selling for the low price of $16. We have a few left at this point. So
if you're 14XL, we got you locked in.
All right, boys, that's good. I think that's the business. Joseph,
quick thing. I was gonna say, we haven't done it in a while. Do you want to introduce the group just in case we got new people who don't know who we are?
So we do have a lot more new listeners. Again, it's just we got our boy Joe, whose birthday this week.
Hey.
We got Pat. He's the sniper. Chris McGraw, Chris is not going to talk for 15 minutes because he's scared he cannot swear.
I can't swear.
Well,
according to this article, though, YouTube
up,
says it's not just cursing that will affect your monetization status.
Uh-oh.
Well, is it quality? Because we're
never screwed. We're
effed in the A.
Racial slurs, derogatory content, and mean or hateful content.
We don't go racial.
We'll never go racial. Except for that one time. Or the 2 times. Okay, maybe 5 times.
That's out of context. That makes it sound bad. We were talking about racial things, not getting
that
racial.
That was more of a joke.
Yeah.
Not funny, Peter.
Not cool. I mean, in this time and age.
We got to be careful of strong profanity.
There's gonna be one.
That was the only thing we were looking for before.
Vulgarity.
Used to be. I think we've done a much
We got to be careful with vulgarity too.
To being able to express ourselves without swearing. Which is something.
I think the alcohol brings up swearing. It's a correlation.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Actually, Chris has already heard this, so I apologize, Chris. But something I want to bring up is I haven't listened to Joe Rogan, and then this correlates to not swearing as much and being able to express yourself without having to use swear words because swear words are just cop outs. But yes, they are. They're definitely fun, especially when you use them like when Chris talks about the court case. They're so good. But I started watching Joe Rogan this week a little bit again, and I just kind of get burned out.
The Tom Segura one.
That was good. Yes, yeah. I did see that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then that one talked about podcasts, and it broke my heart. And it's like, because,
Oh, yeah, when they said,
Tom Segura was talking, and him were talking just about, because from 2020, there was, 4 million new podcasts.
You can't bro out with your bros and expect to be successful.
1 million in 2019, and in...
so we're not going anywhere then.
And then in
that's
2021, it's 1.9 million. So it almost doubled in about a year or two what took 7 years to get to.
People had a lot of time on their hands last year.
Yes, they did. And but so they were talking about how you need, when people ask them for advice on starting a podcast, it's have a lane.
Yes.
And if you're just a bunch of bros just chilling,
I was thinking the same thing.
Bros, it ain't gonna.
I was thinking the same thing, but we do sort of have a lane. I was thinking this because I was legitimately thinking. I was like, oh man,
that hit me. That cut me that.
But we correlate ours to probably not the healthiest, but we correlate ours to drinking and whiskey and stuff like that.
Exactly.
That's kind of our attaché. But
I think about it. If you go back to what Joe Rogan was, or Tom Segura stuff, they didn't They found what their thing was. Your mom's house
for sure
is about weird clips and reactions.
What is Joe's thing? Joe just talks to random people for 3 hours.
Well, he's the best.
He just literally talks to people that interest him. That's what his whole entire thing is.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think Joe Rogan's that great. People like to say he's this great host. I don't think he's that great of a host. I think it's over time what he does, and so I even brought Joe. I'll just finish that really quickly. Is I think he's just so so down the middle common sense
Yeah.
that people like just are looking for that. Like somebody who's not far right, far left, it's just right to the middle.
And
And
get stuck in the beard.
the one thing with Joe, and I'll make this quick, is when going back to him and I realized is he's kind of a moral compass. This sounds so dumb, but honestly, that like when he was talking about with I don't know if you should. I definitely think you should watch Doug Stanhope. We talked about him in Ice League a little bit, but he was on with Joe Rogan recently, and that one
Great haircut.
great haircut. That's what you should do. You should
I'm convinced. Side note, I'm convinced Doug Stanhope is Peter, and Peter is Doug Stanhope. You go look at his Wikipedia page and his personal interest, it's Peter.
Aren't they still cutting his episodes, old episodes that were controversial?
Yeah, they keep taking them off Spotify.
But he just really quickly, he was talking to Doug, and like Doug is still kind of got like Joe Rogan's old mentality. Like Joe and Doug have been friends forever, and they used to be very, very similar. Where Joe was so like, he was so like headstrong, and like only saw things one way. And if like another comic was doing better than him, he would get pissed about it. And then one day he just realized he hated comedy because like everybody, like there were other people doing better than him, and it was always a competition. And instead, when he's like, what am I doing to be better? Like, I can't fucking look at other people all the time. And it just me thinking out loud, like looking at like the stock market, looking at like crypto, looking at like people's wages.
I was just about to say, yeah.
It's like, you can't, and not to be like a moral high horse or whatever, but it's just for me thinking, it's not about what other people are doing. It's how you're improving yourself. And not listening to Joe Rogan, you lose a little of that. You get a little bit fucking greedy. You get a little angry. And it's like, oh shit, you got to come towards the middle.
I think there are a couple things to that. I think one, a reason Joe Rogan's podcast does well, or like a lot of people like it, and a lot of people like to come on it, is because he allows them to talk. Like he doesn't interrupt them. He doesn't, if he has a question about something, and I think that kind of plays into the thing where people say he's a great interviewer. I don't know if he's a great interviewer, but he's a great listener.
Yep. And he's not gonna bust your balls.
Yeah. And then he will call people out if he disagrees, but not in a rude way.
He'll try to bring you to the spot where you see, like with Candace Owen. Like this one is like one of the ones I'll never forget is Candace Owen wouldn't concede that we might be making climate change. Candace Owen is a African American woman who's right, like leans right, very right, and which is fine, whatever. And so she was on Joe Rogan, and Joe, like they were talking about climate, like how we're having a hand in climate change, and she was like, no, like that's not proven. And I was like, come on. She was just towing the Republican line that like she doesn't believe in the scientists.
I was thinking.
If you believe everything Al Gore says, you'll believe that there's Man-Bear Pig.
South Park?
Yes.
I think a lot of what it is in life in general with a lot of people is they get to a certain point where they don't want to learn anymore or they're not interested, and they shut down all the things that they want to know.
Yes, that's true.
I saw this hilarious interview of this politician who was talking about how this other politician, who I believe was Muslim, wouldn't get sworn in on the Bible. And that was his thing. And the interviewer, I can't remember if it was CNN. I'm guessing it was CNN just because of this guy's argument and then their reaction to it. But the guy goes, not everybody has to get sworn in on the Bible. Yeah. Like,
that's kind of weird.
If you're Muslim, it is. Yeah. But he goes, he can be sworn in on and I forget the name of the Quran. Yeah, he can be sworn in with the Quran, and it just like stupefied the politician because he was like, "This is ridiculous. You don't want to follow our government? We swear in on the Bible." And it's like, no, you chose to swear in on the Bible. Yeah. He goes, Trump swore in on the Bible. He goes, yeah, well. Trump's a Christian. He goes, if you're not Christian, really, he goes, if you're Christian, you swear in on the Bible. If you're Muslim, you'll swear in on the Quran. And he was just like mouth open, and the interviewer was just like, all right, have a nice day, sir.
So,
like,
would Mitt Romney have done it on the Book of Mormon?
That would have been awesome. He probably did. He might have.
Yeah.
With the golden plates.
Yeah.
That is a funny religion. Not that, like, I'm not trying to talk about, but it's, I love when people talk about that. Like, a religion that you can, like, your grandparents could date back to me. Like, no, it's not real. Like, that's how far back it goes.
There was something interesting I saw on Christianity and how it's almost, not cannibalistic, but almost like vampire, where you're, like, you drink the blood of Christ. It's like, if you take a step, you've heard that since you were born, like growing up in Catholicism, you take a step back, you're like, people are claiming they're drinking blood. Like, that's a weird thing to...
It's a little weird.
You're young, Joseph.
But you're in it, huh?
That's how you say young.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's been hitting up the QAnon a little bit. You gotta bring that back, Pat.
Yeah.
Or you're the wrong political stance for that one.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay.
Oh, QAnon. God, QAnon talks about how the wealthy, like, it's something with blood of the young children. Like, that's what the young children stuff.
Yeah,
dude, it gets far out
weird.
there.
Real weird.
But yeah, I mean, just going back, I thought the Tom Segura interview was really good.
Yeah.
And the Doug Stanhope.
But now
really
that's
good.
literally what his Tom Talks podcast is. It's just two guys talking, shooting the shit.
Yeah, because you can't do that. Because your mom's house is that audience wants to see weird stuff.
Just chaos.
Yeah.
But I mean, all these guys are famous, so like you can just be there talking when you're just two famous guys because you don't want to hear what famous want to say. So that's why.
So Joe wasn't as famous as he's now. I think it just.
No, but I'm saying like what? Yeah,
Tom Segura was
Bert,
not.
Bert and Tom's right. They're both popular now, so that's
why. They also became popular a little bit because of I never knew shit about Theo Von, but I heard Theo Von on Joe Rogan, and Theo Von was the weirdest guy. His interviews on Joe Rogan are so out there. You have to go look him up. And then you see this guy with a mullet, and you're like, all right, I gotta check him out. Then then you're on his podcast, and that's just happening.
So you're saying if we get on Joe Rogan's podcast, it'd be really weird, though. That's our ticket to gold.
There you go, baby.
If you get on Joe Rogan's podcast, you're golden. Yeah. I mean, anybody who ever talks about it, they're...
All right, well, let's book him. We'll call him up.
Viewability.
He ain't coming on this one.
No, we gotta go on his.
Not that that'll ever happen, but yeah, he would have a fun time here.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
You can get what's his face? Richard Rollins from Fast and Loud. He's doing his own stuff now, and he's like, if you guys are having a barbecue in your backyard and you're drinking, let me know. I'll come by and drink beer with you.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But he drinks Miller Lite, right?
Yeah, well, he can learn to drink Coors Light.
We can buy some Miller Lite for him.
Yeah, I like that. Well, talking about beer, Joseph, you got some stuff to open up here, buddy.
We got,
I'm getting a little thirsty.
We got a lot. I don't know where to start.
Why don't you start with the bag?
The bag?
It's a grocery bag, Joe.
It is a grocery bag. And it's Pat's grocery bag.
Is it my grocery bag?
It's a burlap sack.
So
this is awesome.
And it's got everybody's flavor in there, besides yours, Joe.
So this is an 8-pouch breakfast pack. Good old, starting with Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cocoa Puffs, Cheerios, Trix, which I legitimately don't feel like I've seen in a store in a very long time. Frosted Cheerios.
Keep the box. You never know. It might be worth something.
There we go. Golden Grams and Honey Nut Cheerios.
So 2 of those are relatively healthy. The rest are just sugar.
Yeah. Oh, no. There's only... And I don't know. No, I think it's just...
Honey Nut and Cheerios are the two Cheerios, not the frosted one, but the other two.
Don't be messing with the frosted one.
Don't be fussing with the frosted.
We also got some other stuff in there that might
What do you think the
help.
frosted is?
That's a shareable, Joseph. That's a shareable.
Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. I like this. I could have used this last night.
Yeah?
This is
what's some pictures
2% delicious 2% milk.
Fairlife.
Would you go a little
high protein
toasty last night?
No, so I was my mom gave me a couple of those Easter egg marshmallows.
Oh, nice.
And so I had a couple of those. I'll get to that later.
You mean the Peeps?
No, these are the ones that are in like the egg shape. They're like the
so like Russell Stover candy almost.
Exactly those ones. Exactly that brand and everything. Oh baby,
yeah.
Oh Jesus,
this is not gonna be a good day.
Oh
freedom
my
right there.
Goodness,
freedom in a glass.
Smeared off ice, smash. Red, white, and berry.
Because you're going to get smashed.
Oh, baby.
That's
all
America,
right.
That's America in a can right there, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Camille's going to get that double stuff.
Birthday boy. Birthday boy and some sparkling candles. Oh, man. Dude, you guys went all out. Thank you so much. This is there's still more.
I think there's some stuff in there still.
This is
I'm
so
not
sweet.
sure,
Thank you so much.
That might be it. That could potentially
be it. And then some bowls for the...
for our cereal.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you guys get any spoons for him?
No, we got your spoons. Listen, I brought bowls so you wouldn't have to clean bowls. I don't want you to be a whiny little.
Then we got
Pea holes.
cupcakes. We got what looks like lemon and chocolate.
No, it's
Funfettis!
Funfetti.
the funfetti, and we got some Easter cupcakes. They're Reese's with a little something in the jar. So open one up.
All right.
Take one of the
Something edibles or what?
Yeah, they're all edible and they're really good. I had one.
No.
I meant edibles in them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pat was
no.
implying, is there marijuana in these? And then, yeah.
All right, Chris.
Because he said
What
this.
would you like?
Because
And
he
then we
said,
also got Joe a Samuel Adams.
Beers of summer.
Best of the summer.
of
why don't
the
you read
summer.
the 4 beers that are in there?
I'm gonna try my best and not make any.
Yeah, don't
mistakes
make
here.
a Pat Lynch mistake here.
All right, beach session IPA.
Yep.
Let me
Gotta
read this
get a
one.
bitch session IPA.
Right.
That's
Wait,
not
did
the
he
one.
say it right?
That's
I think he was in there.
We're right at 16 minutes.
Oh, good job,
Pat
Pat.
Lynch.
We're bright and lively. The beer boats. This is a really weird name pack, by the way. That's Beach Session IPA. You can really construe that for Bitch Session IPA. Bright and lively. This beer boasts.
You're never going to call it that the other anymore.
Nope. This beer boasts a crisp tropical aroma and mosaic hops. A clean finish. We recommend drink it cold at sea level. Chris,
I'm going to pass on that
Who
one.
the hell
What
is
if I
Pat
drink
Lynch?
it hot at high altitudes?
you might die.
What, you can't drink it in Colorado? Is that what this beer
Yeah.
is like? No
It's all right out of
Colorado.
my face. The summer ale. We all know what the summer ale
Mosaic.
is. A bright, crispy wheat ale in a summer glass, please. Bursting with orange, lemon, lime,
What is this? Summer
peels, summer ale.
Summer glass is a red solo cup.
Okay, we got the hardest one to make sure we don't mess
Oh,
up.
God.
The porch rocker. And
Like a rock star.
this
The
beer is-
porch part wasn't the word that Pat messed up. It was
Yeah.
the other word.
Yeah.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
This beer was inspired by German cyclists who mixed beer with lime flavor after a tough ride. In Porch Rocker, we fruited golden heels.
Samuel Adams getting canceled with this name.
Now it's in your head and you're worried you're going to say it just on accident.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna.
Yeah.
And then we got the. Oh, I like this. I like the name of this one. Lawn Chair Lager.
Yeah, that's
That
what
sounds
Chris
good.
I guess
wants.
the redneck.
For
Okay, so
those
redneck.
lazy summer days, kicking back with a cooler of cold beers and good friends.
If-
Now-
if they were in the South, they would be called the redneck chair.
A
So
quick question.
Yes.
it's not a twist off.
A lot of the beers
Yep.
that we've been having,
It's like Jerry Seinfeld. It's not twist off.
I'm
Hands
listening.
are going for the
I'm listening.
giant.
a lot of the beers that we've been having have been implied to be mixed together. Like on the box,
These are not.
they say you put
Definitely
these
not.
through.
These are not meant to be mixed.
These
together.
are meant each bottle separate.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Don't be fussing with the tussing on this one, Joseph.
I mean, I guess you can, but not recommended.
Oh, and we had to get a beer opener. Joe, what'd you think of the cupcake?
Coffee is really fucking good.
Do you like that little surprise in the middle?
Mm-hmm. M&M's.
Oh, yeah.
This one. This one, I like that you kept them color coordinated. I don't know if they're all like this. I just fit into one. All orange M&M's in the middle. What are these?
Reese's Pieces.
Oh, these are Reese's Pieces. Okay.
Yep.
They're
It's
really
a
good.
chocolate cupcake with Reese's Pieces in the middle.
People may not. I'm assuming you made these.
Yeah.
People may not know this. You are a very,
No.
very skilled cook and baker.
If you see, if you look at the ones,
The baker's a work in
you
progress.
sure to have a cupcake?
Yeah, shit.
Awesome. Chris, would you like? You gotta get your funfetti.
Funfettis!
What is if you look at the chocolate ones, I might have made them a little too long, and they poofed up and then poofed out.
It looks like a deflated airbag.
Did you
a
get
little
your-
bit. They're
did you
very
get a-
wide, but hey, didn't hurt the taste at all.
Oh,
Oh, serious,
Diddlyumptious.
serious question on these.
Yep.
Did you have to get a baking tin, or did your plan of just pouring the batter in and putting them on a flat baking tray work?
Was that the OG plan?
That was the
There's
OG.
no fucking way he did that. There's no fucking way. You know what we would have? We would have.
You would have a whole entire
giant
pan
tray.
of just baking
No,
batter.
you'd have.
Was that not gonna work?
You'd have the best
Well,
part.
you're gonna pour. You're gonna pour
What?
this thing and just hope it for the best.
No, you'd have the best part. You'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those delicious muffin
Cookies?
tops. but they'd be enormous.
And they'd be fused to the fucking thing. Like the thing that goes around it.
They'd be fused to the thing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't understand why I didn't get the science on that. I don't know why I missed that.
That's so funny. I love that.
Chris, like, you gotta
see how flimsy these things are.
So what happened to the first batch?
What do you mean? No.
I told him before he made it.
Help me out.
This is stupid sweet and stupid delicious. This doesn't even taste like alcohol.
It's all yours, Joseph.
I'm not gonna lie. It tastes like I would say have a sip of it.
Oh, you got it.
It brings me back. I know this sounds weird, but it brings me back to my childhood. It almost sounds like, or it almost tastes like one of the fruity, like Mondo or like Capri Sun. You know what I mean? Like it's just straight sweet.
Oh God, it is one of those. I love how it has. That's from
how is it clear still?
Okay, I'll
yeah, that's.
How is this thing clear still? That's my question.
Slam dunk.
Slam dunk.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that to the side.
This podcast started very, very, very serious and went from serious to silly and
off the rails.
Yeah, because I thought everybody would get a kick out of your bacon idea.
I honestly,
your theory is sound.
Wait, Joe's explaining it to me. Makes sense. Now it makes sense. When I was doing it,
it's all over my beer pack.
I would have literally, if Chris didn't say anything, we would have muffin tops right now. Mm-hmm. Didn't think about it,
or pancakes,
or pancakes.
Yeah.
The best part is,
they taste good.
That's
though.
Hilarious.
Your theory was sound. I was just like, they're going to collapse as soon as you put them in there and they start baking and the heat gets on those little wrapper things.
Chris watches a lot of baking shows.
Chris is a British baker expert.
Yeah.
Expert.
I want that little freaking cake top fucking thing stand. Cake stand. I want the cake stand, damn it.
Katrina watched that. I was like, so when they get the prize? Like, she's like, cake stand. I'm like, and what? She's like, that's it. Cake stand. Like
cake stand and bragging rights.
I'm like, I guarantee you the shows in the U.S. there'd be money involved. There's no way people are doing this shit for no money.
And it's like a long time too, right? Isn't it a couple? Like
you have to go every weekend, I think.
Oh, it's just a weekend. Okay. No, I just think about that for driver dines, whatever.
Diners, drive-ins.
Yeah, you have to pay for all the food. You have to shut down your restaurant for as many days as the production crew needs to be there.
Do you think they're ever there more than just a day?
I think sometimes it could be a couple days. Not all. Like I think, you know what? Actually, I might be wrong. It might be just the one day that he's there, but you're shutting. Like you're right. It might be that whole day.
You're saying that people were deprived of the slinger for several days for this guy to go in there and try one.
Did he do it? Did he do it?
Yeah, he did the slinger. Yeah.
I would imagine though.
How dare he?
All of those. I mean, how many places did we learn about in Chicago? Chicago alone, just because of that show.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you get a big boost after it airs.
Yeah.
So it's not like.
It's a very, very small
that's really
investment.
good. I forgot how good that is. It's a lemon radler. Was it always a lemon radler? The pork rocker?
I've only had it once. I don't remember.
It's really good. It's a.
I'm assuming they haven't changed the recipe.
What qualifies a radler?
It's got to have like a certain amount of fruit juice in it.
Is that would make sense because the only other one I know is the orange one.
Steigler or
the
something.
The
grapefruit radler. So I just didn't know.
People love that with a little bit of vodka. Up the.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. That's a big drink. That's like a cocktail.
Because Google what the requirements are for a radler.
You got it.
Thank you, sir.
You're
a real mensch, Chris.
Yeah, but it is nice when you go to Joe Rogan and Jamie is like he's definitely the best. You go from YMH or King and the Sting, and then you go to Jamie, who's like the best Googler. It's literally
he finds stuff so quick.
Maybe this like
a traditional German radler combines equal parts light-colored hoppy beers such as Pilsner and citrus soda, often called lemonade in Europe, but it's actually lemon lime flavor.
Okay,
so it's equal parts like some kind
beer
of
and some sort of citrusy. Yeah. Okay,
so that's another S&P fact for you.
Oh yeah,
always confident, never accurate.
Never accurate. That's going to be a shirt one day, ladies and gentlemen. And you're going to get that by emailing us, the snppodcast@gmail.com.
This just tastes like a...
I thought you were getting him a tiara that said birthday girl.
I found the button that said birthday girl, but I was like, that's kind of...
obnoxious. Are they gender neutral, one of these things now? Like,
they are.
Can you get like a...
Just happy birthday.
Happy birthday?
Yeah, just happy birthday.
Happy birthday, you.
Yes. You know,
whatever you want to call yourself.
Says happy holidays, so you don't get like if you're not very
no, and I'm not trying to make this seem like a joke, but like it is kind of a joke to me. But Bill Burr gets him hot and bothered when he sees in somebody's email like
his, him, her?
Yeah, his, him, yeah. Her,
the accounting firm we work with, all their people have like on their bottom of their signatures have that, like the email signatures have like what pronoun they prefer to be used by.
Oh yeah,
I think about
I like
that.
to be preferred by it.
Okay, well, we can do that.
Or Chris.
Okay, Chris works.
I think about
Christina?
that, and I'm like, are we starting to get to that age where we're just like we don't want to learn new shit and we're just getting crotchety and old?
I know.
You know what I mean?
You're right, because like our parents, like some of the things that they use, you have to be like, hey, you can't do that anymore. Yeah, and you're right. I guess we're going to get to that point where it's like, because you think him, you know, like him.
I just call them other names that I work with. I don't know. I just call them other names.
Yeah,
can't go wrong with the name.
You're right, because I can't even do. You're right, because I can't even do Mrs.
Hey,
or
you.
Mr. anymore.
Yeah,
because I usually just like
I'll just be like, hi John or hi Joan or whatever your name is. That's what I go with in the calls.
John Doe, what's up?
Yeah,
Jane Doe, what's up? My name's not Jane. Yeah, I know.
It's like it's one of those things that I feel kids growing up it'll be part of their vernacular. They don't have to learn it. And for us, it's such a
oh yeah,
you have to retrain muscle memory to just
because it seems I get for people who take this seriously, it's not silly, but for us, it's like him, her, like.
I'm also not sure 100% on what the correct things are for some people, so I don't want to get down that road.
That's 100%. And I think a lot of it has to do with exposure. Like we don't have a lot of friends in our group where that's an issue. Yeah. So it's like it's just out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
Versus being in a group of people where that is important, and then you learn it and you understand it. Where there's a lot of it. It's just learning and understanding, and
it's got to be kind of funny when you first time you see that email, Pat, where you like at the bottom.
I've never seen it
like
in
him
email.
and his. Like what's that?
It's only recent because we started the audit last year and they didn't have it on there. It's only like the last couple of weeks they put it on there. I'm pretty sure.
All these big companies are so scared of.
They're not one of the big four firms we use, but for audit, but we use. This is the account. This is our audit. This is our audit team. The people that audit us.
I'm not gonna lie. I just kind of assumed it was a restaurant or some. I feel like it's more.
I really don't do
prominent there, like just because of your business. I just kind of assumed it was more prominent there.
No, it's the accounting for the accounting firm used to audit us.
So did your company have to come out to you and be like, hey, you can't, like you have to be very careful with, or is it?
No one's ever told me. I mean, I'm
not
assuming
to say.
I'm assuming it's kind of common sense to be like respectful of our coworkers, but no one's ever been like you have to. No one's ever. We've never had. You have to learn
97,000.
Yeah, there's been no training session yet on the various pronouns. If I get it, I'll send it out, and we can all become educated together.
We'd appreciate that.
I feel like the big thing is as long as
you're working at your work, Chris. You working a nice training program for those kind of things.
Yeah. For myself, just for myself, because that's literally the only person that's down there.
Thank God, under 50 employees, you don't really need an HR
or anything really.
Yeah,
it's a free for all.
It's definitely a free for all.
So we're going to be at 49 employees for a long time.
Yeah, I think about that with
never gave more than 100 because once you get over 100,
I think it's over 50.
Over 100 in the state of Illinois now, you got to pay like the $15 minimum wage or whatever it is.
Yeah. Not that we discourage people.
So I get a raise if we can get that.
Yeah.
Wait, it's only mandatory for 100 people.
Yeah.
No. If your company
if you're in Illinois, if your company's got over 100 employees. You're mandatory
What is the minimum wage before that then?
It depends. It's like the federal wage. Like you could charge the federal wage for I think it's like $8.25 or something.
Oh, interesting.
Also, it depends on if you're like a tip person, you can be charged.
Yeah, it's even less than that.
I heard they're trying to change it in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, but they're also trying to work on for consultants or 1099s, contractors. Mm-hmm. They're trying to figure out a way to get them unemployment. Because all those people, like, here's the funny part is, not the funny part, but here's the thing. Everybody thought they were killing it when they were contractors deducting everything. But then as soon as all the contracting last year dried up, they had no access.
What's the first thing we call our contractors? Media was like, yeah, we're done. Sorry, guys. That was like
they couldn't get
like that, and then we furloughed employees. Those were the two things. Like right after that, like bam.
Have you gotten all your furloughed employees back, or?
We brought back most of them, and we didn't. We brought back most of them like July last year, and then the rest we kind of just shrunk the company a little bit.
Yeah,
but I mean, some of it would be natural attrition anyways. We have a big sales team, so like, you don't need a huge sales team when you can't go out and sell. So I'm starting to ramp up now a little bit again.
On the Twitter account, for some reason I feel like every time I go on the Twitter, there's something about the Capitol riots on the Twitter, and they were showing this video of the people storming, and like they were talking about like the 911 stuff and whatever, and there was a guy who I swear to God looked just like Charlie, and I was like, did Charlie? Like, is he in?
He's storming the Capitol, baby.
He's storming the Capitol.
He's the guy that climbed up the wall and then did it. and falls down.
It's me, oh
no. Oh no. That poor guy got seriously injured.
Is Mario considered like not socially acceptable anymore?
No, I still think you can be not socially acceptable to white people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think you got a little bit.
So being an Italian plumber,
anybody that comes from European countries, I think you're still allowed to make fun of.
Yeah, we still.
Fat people too. Fat people like Ralphie May said, like the last group, they still make fun of.
Well, I mean that's not choice, but you're kind of going your own route.
Towing the line though.
You're starting to.
Things are changing.
Women that are a little bit overweight, you can't. White males that are overweight, it's fucking free for all.
It's
that's
like,
why Chris had to lose all his weight.
Season.
He's like, I can't take all the jokes.
I can't be out there.
Can't be the punching bag anymore, Chris.
He was done with it.
Enough is enough.
There's a few people that recently I've seen on the line.
Line.
That has Chris like, should we say something to them?
Pierre's like, do I need to question their intake?
Their eating habits.
They're getting a little bit a little chunky, I guess is the word I would use.
I'm one of the people, like, I feel like if I'm gaining weight, like, and I'm starting to look like ridiculously, like, I'd appreciate somebody as a friend telling me, hey.
Pierre, side note, seriously, dude, you're looking a little fat.
Not on the podcast,
Try to be sexy Pepsi over here, 2.0.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
if that's really happening, I would rather somebody say, like, instead of me, like, 6 months down the road where I'm like really down the road and then I see a picture and I'm like
he's looking like he's like White Goodman and then all of a sudden he loses the dodgeball tournament and then he looks and then he's like fucking Chuck Norris. I could have won that tournament.
That's what I'm saying. So I was thinking now would you if you were because me and Lauren had a real discussion yesterday about this and she's like, no, you can't.
Yeah, I'm sure she's on the fact. I'm sure she's the opposite of you on this one.
No, she's like you can't talk, like, you can't tell people that. And I'm like, but if you have bad breath, wouldn't you want somebody to tell you had bad breath?
Not everybody does want to.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like it
depends on the person.
It all depends on, I feel, the relationship. I feel like that is the thing because
no, that's true too.
I think all of us, like the four of us, we can say pretty much anything we want to any of each other, and there's not going to be any blowback in terms of, within certain parameters. We can say anything we want, and there's not going to be any hard feelings because it's like where they're coming from. I think a big part of it is when you're talking to a stranger or some third party gets involved. That's where it gets muddy, and you really have to watch your pronouns, watch your whatever. Just be careful, kind of thing.
That's true. Some people are a little bit more sensitive.
Because me and you have literally had this very same conversation about like, hey, would you want to know, or you tell me, hey, let me know.
Oh, I mean, I was in a relationship, and I remember looking at a picture from like Halloween, and I was like, holy hell, what has happened to me?
Yeah.
And
I mean, here's the thing too, though, with that is
pictures tell 1,000 words.
Like, it's a lot easier for like you to be like looking at a picture and seeing it there than like us who see you, like especially me where I see you every day. I'm not gonna recognize too much.
Yeah.
It would have to be like a huge drastic
You're right.
thing.
Yeah, that's true too.
If you don't see somebody for a while, then it's a little bit easier to see like that kind of whole entire thing.
Yeah.
But we had a really good conversation along with I don't know how much we want to get into this. It's probably not. This is not the podcast to talk about it, but some of the shit that's going on, just kind of in general with the kind of the world and the.
There's some stuff going on.
This is, I mean,
especially in Chicago.
That one's tough. I don't know where you go with it. You can. I think we all can see both sides of it.
I legitimately went to the internet to see what people were saying.
Yes,
because I had heard about it first.
There hasn't been a whole lot of.
It kind of reminded me of when you watch the NFL, you watch the play, you're like, oh, I don't know, man. When you watch the receiver catch the thing, and then you slow it down and you watch it 15 times, frame by frame by frame,
and you still don't know.
And what I'm saying, but when you have that perspective of being able to stop it, freeze frame it, and 1, 2, 3, and that happened in that.
You're right.
What is the term they call that?
Yeah, it's
easy to say. It's easy to say.
Monday quarterbacking.
So
it's easy to say, hey, his hands were up.
Yeah.
It's
also, don't forget. I mean, don't forget. You see him like this. You see him move. That's just great for audio podcasts here.
Yeah.
You see him move real fast, but
when you slow down, it looks.
But when you don't, that's a split second.
Yeah.
And you have a split second to make a decision.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's horrible.
But the thing what me and Lauren talked about is I think it's on each side. It's Okay, it's a 13-year-old kid out late with a gun.
2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's gangbanger.
I don't know. I don't know if he's a gangbanger.
No, the guy who's with
the
the
other
gangbanger.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't. Okay.
The guy he's with 100% was a gangbanger.
Okay. So So and we just what's his name? Toledo or
Adam Toledo.
Yeah.
So the situation was 13-year-old kid. He was with a second person. I don't know his details.
He's 21. He's a known gang affiliate.
Yep.
There was shots fired in the neighborhood.
Shots fired.
So Chicago has this thing where like in certain neighborhoods they have these like sensors that can sense gunfire going off, and that's how the cops will respond to that area looking patrol when they
there were
and that's
also,
what triggered the cops to this.
My understanding is there were also calls made because they were shooting at. I don't know. I don't know. There's so much information going around. I don't know what's true and what's not. But my understanding was there were shots fired and they were shooting at cars driving by. No one was injured.
Okay.
I don't know any damage was done to cars, but there were gunshots going off at.
And do they know
2 o'clock in the morning?
They know it was these two individuals who were actually shooting?
Well, I mean, they were in the neighborhood, and there was the guys that they came from, and they saw these two guys.
Okay, but nobody's really sure if there was.
So I mean, you see the video, you see the one guy. The one guy is like right there. The cop like pushes him down. I'm assuming that he has a partner who's who's arresting that guy.
There's two police officers. They both get out of the car. One tackles the older guy,
throws him down.
Throws him. I mean, Was
that an actually? I think that older dude. I think it was just a random guy in the alley.
No, that was the guy. That was the other guy.
The one guy he pushed.
That was the other guy.
Oh, really?
So the guy he pushed.
But he wasn't scared of that guy having a gun.
No, because his partners are behind him, so you shove that guy down. And the cop jumped on that guy.
A lot of people suspect because this guy has a previous record.
He gave the gun to the
kid. He gave the gun to the kid and told him to run.
Yeah.
Right? So he was doing the stuff. This kid was with the guy.
Messing around.
Yeah. He was not the one doing a lot of this stuff previously. Yeah. Again, this is like, everything's hindsight 2020.
Yeah,
you don't know who this is.
Poor cop. That's the other
dude.
issue.
That's so
So this cop's running after him, and the kid. It looks like he definitely had a gun because there was a gun found right by the kid.
Well, and you could also kind of see it from the second.
And it looks like the kid. It looks like the kid. Looks like he did is he flung it behind the fence.
Yeah,
But he did it all in one motion.
Yeah.
And he did it in the cop. And then when he turned towards the cop shot him.
Yeah,
and the cop got him. It looked like he got him somewhere in the upper chest.
He shot. I watched the whole video. He shot him square in the chest. Yeah. Apparently, the guy's a former Marine
and has never fired his weapon before in the forces duty.
Although he did have multiple complaints against him. I don't know what those complaints are. I'm just trying to give the whole picture.
I mean, every cop has complaints against it.
I thought about that too. I'm like, it's very like. So these are all the things. Like,
here's the thing. I don't know.
It feels like the news is kind of trying to build it up, and I think people are being more like looking at the situation. I think no one's happy that this happened, but I think people in general are kind of looking at it, and it feels like the media is kind of trying to.
This cop is not going to get charged.
Here's
I would be shocked.
Here's the things that I heard before watching the video.
Mm-hmm.
I heard, and I didn't know anything, so all I saw were things on Twitter and Instagram and word of mouth. Beforehand, I heard. A young kid got shot.
Yeah, 13-year-old.
This shouldn't happen. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is terrible. But how could this kid get shot? Then I watched the video, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is a lot harder. But then I don't have the training of a police officer. I've seen a lot of people make arguments that you're not, apparently, I don't know if this is true. I don't know. But you're not supposed to, like, take anyone alone by yourself, especially if they're armed. You're not supposed to like chase after anyone. So it's like that situation where you're chasing someone who knows they have a gun. And then in the clip, you see it for a split second, right? Like in the video clip, you see freeze frame by frame. Kid has a gun, but you see the barrel, meaning it's empty. So there's nothing in the chamber.
You can't detect that when you're that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying the cop is wrong or right, but there's no way you can tell that. Yeah. I'm looking at it.
I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he tosses the gun. When I watched the video without any of the commentary, without any breakdown, just like body cam footage as is, that's a hard situation to be in. Where I don't know if I would have made the right decision.
I mean, also if the kid stops on the ground and puts his hands like this, we're running this conversation. So there's multiple layers of, you did run from the cops.
I've seen people argue the kid shouldn't have ran. I've seen people argue the cop should have been better with his commands on what to do.
He's also a 13-year-old kid is probably terrified of his mind.
Oh, yeah, I know. My God. Yeah.
The other thing is, like, this is the hardest part, and I get I don't know anything about police, or like law enforcement and stuff like that, like tactical moves. Mm-hmm. But do we always have to shoot to kill? Like, is that the only way we can do things?
Well, I mean, he might not shot to kill. He's happy that's where he got it.
I know a guy who he's a firearms instructor in the military for both basic training and special operations, and then he works with the police, actually. So I asked him, I go,
is it just
why do you not like shoot him in the leg or something like this?
Well, they can still get a shot off, right? I'm guessing this for going this.
No, actually, it's something way more basic and just you don't think about it because the way you see action movies. He goes, "Do you realize how hard it is to shoot?"
Yeah, I was just thinking
such a specific thing. Yeah. He goes, "The reason they train center mass is because it's the largest part of the body." Yeah, so where the guy shot him,
thinking that out loud, it's like that just makes sense.
And it makes so
and the odds are you probably would. The odds are that they move, you'd hit him in the shoulder.
Well, here's the thing. This guy got a shot off in a split. I mean, okay, take away. Listen, this is going to sound so bad out of context. Take away from the fact that this guy got a shot off that quick and hit center mass was, to me, impressive alone. Like, given that situation, going from a sprint to that very quick motion, and then, instead of missing and shooting somewhere,
I did think about when did he draw his gun in that moment.
I was wondering.
He must have had his gun out as he was running.
He must have,
because there's no way he could have pulled it and shot that kid that quickly.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't think this is I don't know if I think it's an educational thing where cops need to maybe the training of, hey, we need to understand the complete situation.
It's so hard.
But I don't think it's a defund the police. I don't think it's racially driven. I think it was just in the moment. And it's it's
also a systemic problem that this kid is getting is out there with gangers at 2 a.m.
There's arguments on both sides. Yeah. You could say
I just don't think
cop shouldn't have shot. He needs more training. I mean, this guy's a military.
I think one of the great things is we're getting better views of everything. So this isn't
Yep.
It's not just a blip on like, okay, hey, we need to learn from this.
The fact that this made the news and is as big as it is good because it's only going to lead to...
So just to play devil's advocate on this one. So what happens if, let's say, this cop didn't shoot and this kid had killed the cop? Yeah. I reverse roles on this one. If he did have his gun, pulled it, and then what would the narrative be then?
Well, no, but exactly. So that's the situation. It would be a bad situation.
That same night,
I think it would be the same thing. It's like, okay, hey, because I saw it was terrible. I saw a video in Arizona. A cop pulled over a pickup because
drug dealer. You unloaded on him with the 14.
Yeah, it's a tough watch.
The cop saw that gun. Had him get out, and the guy just pulled it and started firing. Like, the cop saw that gun.
No, he did take a second to load it.
Did you guys see the video of he was a heavier cop who pulled over the lady in Nashville?
No. Oh yeah, I did see that one where she like ran around the car.
She ran. So it's just okay.
I think we talked about this on the podcast, didn't we?
No, I don't know about this one.
I think so.
So it was a bigger guy. He pulled over this lady because the car was a different owner, and the owner of the car had multiple warrants out for their arrest. So he pulls over this lady, asks her, all these questions, and then as things carry on, it gets to the point that, and it's a very routine traffic stop. Like he goes back into the car. He goes, "Hey, this isn't the driver." He ends up searching her purse. She has some drugs in there that I can't remember if they were legal or not, but then it got to the point where he's like, all right, I'm going to have to detain you. And she started to freak out. She ran around the car. Oh, she ended up pulling her gun, shooting at the officer.
Yep.
I think it hit under his vest into his like stomach area. And then he unloaded on her like 2 or 3 shots. And then she ended up driving off, but his shots were fatal to her, and then she ended up crashing in the parking lot. But it's a weird thing.
This is the situation.
It's such a
hard. It's not. There's not. This is what I hope people are starting to realize. It's not it's not a like there's it's not what exactly. It's every situation has a certain little thing to it that you have to really understand.
I think there's a broader problem, honestly, in this country with like gun control. Well, like, I mean, a lot of these things are, and I wasn't for gun control, but again, I've never had to worry. Like I mean, I don't own a gun. I don't know if it's gun control. I think it's well, there is a little bit of. I think the
mass shootings are more gun control probably issues. I think these kind of things.
I think those are more. I think those are more.
There's a lot of. You're right. There's a lot of illegal guns that are on the streets. Like there are. Yeah, and I think
guns. It's all the like. This is again S&P.
Completely uneducated.
Confident fact, not accurate. Yeah. I think a lot of the real issue comes down to those trade shows where you can pick up a gun without really registering. It's the mass shooting stuff is like a lot of the recent ones. One in Indiana, they had the guy. The FBI was interviewing him last year.
They took his gun away.
Yeah,
he got another gun.
Yeah, the kid, the last one in Colorado. They like the parents were like, "What the shit? Like this guy's not."
The guy in Indianapolis. They took him away because he was threatening suicide by cop to his mom. So his mom called the cops, I think, on him or the FBI on him or somebody on him.
Yeah. So that's like. So there's a little bit of everything.
It's I think it all comes down to you hope there's someone out there smarter than us trying to figure this stuff out.
1,000%.
Well, I mean, it comes down to a point where are you fearing to go to work? You're fearing going to any sort of large gathering. I mean, what
that is
anything can happen. I mean,
because it keeps happening. Think
about.
I feel like it's happening more.
Think about we went to Lollapalooza 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
like the guy that did the Vegas thing had had a hotel overlooking the bridge, and all 4 of us walked over to leave the concert.
Well, me and Joe, we were in Toronto in a couple of weeks after, I think it was a couple of weeks after that, which we were looking at this weekend. One of the guys drank a white bus through a crowd of people, and then in Vegas we were there the weekend that the lady just snapped.
I feel like the only reason we weren't there for that, the one in Vegas where she drove onto the curb, is because Katrina said,
"We'll stop at CVS."
Let's stop at CVS. Yeah. Otherwise, I remember we went in.
We were going to. I don't think we would have made it on time, but we would have seen it.
We'd have been right there.
Yeah. We would have been real close because I remember we came out and all the lights were there. And we're like, "What happened? All right, let's go eat." And
yes, we were seeing cops after cop after cop. That was sketchy, or that was scary. It does make you feel very vulnerable when you're at Lollapalooza and the guy's scoping the place out, the one you're at.
Yeah.
And you walked on the bridge that he was scoping out.
Yeah.
I mean, with the mass shooting stuff, it's like...
You can't live in fear either.
No.
But I feel like it's one of those things, if somebody wants to do something, they'll figure it out. Because you talk about... Okay, nobody in Europe owns guns, and then that dude in France just like drove a truck through a bunch of people. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
They'll figure it out. They had that nightclub
England
shooting.
has the knife attacks.
They had that nightclub shooting in France too, where there was like one exit, and nobody could get out of there.
And that, but also, and then like the bar areas, they picked the bar area. Were just.
I think in Finland too, they had one where they had like a mass. I don't know if Finland, one of those in the region.
The problem is, are we hearing about it now more because? It's just...
I wonder that, yeah.
Or, like, because has this kind of stuff been going on for generations and generations?
No, it hasn't really. I think Columbine was the first one.
No. There was one in Texas from the college shooting in Texas. The guy from the sniper. I'm saying
that was like in the 70s.
Are you talking about...
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying, like, is it just more, like, polarized now? And there were things... Because there were... Like, if you actually look at it, there were a lot of kind of mass shootings.
I think guns... I think the high capacity... I think the problem is that these guns now, compared to that guy who had, like, a sniper rifle... Where you're one, boom, click, boom. These new guns are unloading. How many rounds did that guy in Vegas unload in a minute? I mean, you just brrr.
Yeah.
Like that's the issue. These guns are so much more advanced than they were 20, 30 years ago even.
Yeah.
So you can kill a lot more people, unfortunately.
I do think though, to kind of play into what you're saying, you're hearing about it more now. I think because of news and media and internet, it's definitely, and I think. It's going to lead to something good, I hope, and that like they'll be able to fix it.
Kind of like with the stuff with like we're really realizing the cop issues, and I think we're seeing with a lot of documentaries on people who have been unwrongly convicted.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's going to be another way to look at the law, like legal law officers, convictions, all that stuff. I think hopefully over time we start to really change things.
I think there's many things to fix. There's things to fix on the police side. There's things to fix on the like
Yeah, but that's not
criminal
to say,
side, you know, like.
But that's not to say we don't live in the best country in the entire world.
Oh, I know.
It's insane to think about, like how we all hit the life lotto, like to be born in this time, in this country, with parents, like everything is just you're so lucky. So as much as we can change, you also have to be very grateful. And just thinking about, like, again, I've been obsessed with watching like World War II veterans talk about their time and just.
I watched a really interesting,
insane, bro,
interview. You know what's funny is I've been watching a bunch too of like people talking about their experiences.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm so addicted to it.
But I saw this great. It's a specific YouTube channel, but they put a World War II veteran with a veteran of just like this last, you know.
Oh, really? Yes, yeah.
And they talked about and they talked about their experiences, and the older veteran goes like, I'm happy I'm not doing what you're doing, because in our day it was there's a line and we're fighting against sides. He goes, now it's just a completely different thing. I mean, I think literally Al-Qaeda just came out with a comment saying they've won the war in Afghanistan. Jeez. Like they're saying like there's nothing the USA can do. We've won. And here's the thing, all of it's perception, because, and this is all thanks to the internet, a lot of people in those countries feel like Afghanistan are freedom fighters. In a way, you know,
is that also because the U.S. just announced they're going to be pulling all the troops out of there?
Well, that's for sure.
Maybe, yeah. That
that's what they said. Yeah. So Biden wants to get, and I think it's time. I wish there was a way. I think they're going to try to make sure that the Afghan armies can kind of hopefully stay in power. But if you look at Afghanistan, it's a tribal country.
I mean, that's an interesting thing. Like,
it's so much different.
What should be America's
role in America? Yeah.
You know, funny enough, I just recently learned this. I didn't know this was a thing. Japan is not allowed to have an offensive army.
Yeah, offensive army.
Defensive
only.
From
World War II.
Yeah. I didn't realize I heard that. You learn that.
Our army is the U.S. Like,
exactly.
We protect them.
But if the U.S. were to retreat, Japan is basically fucked in that China would absolutely destroy them, because there is such animosity between those two countries because of what Japan did World War I, pre-World War I, to China back in the day, that is still carried over today.
The point, like, if the U.S. and China ever go to war, it's gonna be bad for everyone.
Oh yeah, I think honestly,
it's nuclear war.
That's the thing is, I think one of the only like good things about the nuclear bomb is that's why we've had so much peace, is because you're not. The next one,
piece of countries without nuclear war, at least.
Yes. Well, yeah, but it wouldn't, like, if us and Russia went at it, that'd be it. Or if us and China went, that would be it, because you would scale up to that position. Because how do you make a treaty that no one's going to use it? Because you say you're not going to use it, I say I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, no, we don't have any of those things in the middle of the desert. There's one aimed at you constantly.
Did you guys see all the UFO shit?
Oh yeah!
Holy hell! Here's the thing.
All the stuff that they released is finally people are starting to sift through it.
Okay, but the name is like, we don't know what the hell this crap is. And is it like, are you saying that because you know what it is and don't want us to think, you want every crackpot to go, yes, UFOs, and then you guys like, it's some like a military thing that we're just trying to hide? Well, that's where I'm getting nervous at.
That's what they talk about with the like the old stealth. I don't know what it's called. It's that big triangle plane.
Yes,
B-52.
B-52.
Not a B-52. B-52 bomber.
Stealth bomber. Yeah.
Is the B-52 like
stealth bomber?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. A lot of people thought that was an alien ship back in the day, but I mean, a lot of these videos that the UFOs,
they're so weird.
It's just they're moving so fast and
it's like pilots are like, I don't know how this guy's doing this.
Incomprehensible ways just the G forces alone
could be drones.
Could be, yeah. You're right. Yeah,
could be,
But I think it's super interesting. I love how people get so into that type of stuff. It's ridiculous. It is nice to hear though, like when Joe Rogan has like some of the Navy pilots who've seen this stuff and they've seen everything.
Yeah.
And Or the unsolved mystery where the people talk about the whole city that was kind of like abducted by aliens, and they all everybody has like a different kind of story.
Yeah.
That was insanely interesting to me.
Aliens. I always think of that dude from the History Channel.
Oh,
he's got the crazy hair, and he's just like aliens. Like that's always the meme.
You know what they do nowadays? They're starting to do like a roundtable with all the alien Joe makes fun of these guys who got like alien experts, so like they get degrees in alien, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious because there's only one thing you can do. You got to pray to get on the History Channel and talk about alien crap. My mom fucking loves this alien bullshit. Like she's like all into it. Like whenever it's on new shows, she's like lined up to watch it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just kind of a new thing or what, but I don't know if that's like an old person thing because my uncle loves it too. They all love that old fucking that weird dude with his hair all over the place.
Have you ever seen the not the transgression, the transition from like his first time on the History Channel to what he looks like now? He was just like a normal dude,
building a character, Joey. Building a character.
Slowly turning into, you know, those like pictures you see of Christ where he's got the big gold circle around his head. That dude made it like nice comb back hair, just real suit to just like hair straight up in a circle, like almost like he's got a big old medallion hanging around his head.
Nice.
Like it's just crazy.
Chris, you get a little quiet over here.
Yeah. We got nothing.
We lose you like...
We don't call him the best color man in the business for nothing, baby.
We lose you 30 minutes into a podcast. You
guys go off on some random... I literally didn't watch the video of that poor kid. I didn't read anything on it. I really don't stay up on current events or the news because I just find the news garbage most of the time.
That's true.
That is true.
And then, I haven't paid much attention to any of this alien stuff. I had no idea. So I kind of do like Joe Rogan, where I just kind of sit around and listen and just kind of learn from you guys because some things I just don't pick up on. Like I don't go and watch out.
So here's something I feel like we could all talk about.
Is it the Philadelphia open drug trade, Chris? What's it?
Oh, good. No, we don't need to talk about that.
God.
That's garbage.
No, so my thing is tonight, Ben Askren
and
Jake Paul have a fight. And it's a boxing fight.
Yeah,
I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Did you see one question?
I don't know.
Yes.
The weigh-in?
Did you see the weigh-in for Ben Askren?
Well, I'm just going to say this. Ben Askren has never looked good in any weigh-in ever.
He didn't look very good in this one either.
I look like a chunky monkey.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like he hasn't trained.
What are your guys' thoughts? Who do you?
I think Funkamania is going to run wild all over Logan Paul.
I fucking hope that Ben Askren wins. I really fucking hope.
It's going to be insane because Ben Askren looks terrible.
No, I really hope that
is
Ben Askren...
Is there like a bet that you can make that we can get...
I want to hope Ben Askren knocks him out because I want to shut this guy
down. Ben Askren is claiming a 7th round knockout.
Yes, yeah.
But
how many rounds is there?
So this is a boxing fight. I'm guessing it's 12 rounds.
Really? I thought, because wasn't the last one like a 5, right?
Well, he's fighting an actual... He's fighting an actual fighter now.
Yeah, he's not fighting Nate Robinson again.
Yeah.
How is Ben Askren going to have the cardio for this fight?
Well, here's the thing.
I think he's banking on not having to go that long.
I don't think... Well, here's the thing.
Well, he's not wrestling. He's not wrestling.
No, he's not wrestling, but he is a trained athlete. And if you've ever interacted, I mean, think about guys that you know who were athletes in college.
Remember when you dated an athlete?
Or who... Athlete.
Is this a real sponsor?
Is Darts a real sport?
Is it a real sponsor?
Is this a real sponsor?
Oh my God, you're stretching. Come!
We're going to post that on Twitter. The best commercial ever.
Mountaintop.
Yeah, who do you guys have an estimate?
You got a Joe C. Lock of the century of the week.
I was thinking about it.
I really hope that Askren wins the fight.
Okay, I think Matt wants Askren.
Well, you guys go through.
I would not spend a fucking penny to watch this fight.
I was thinking about just trying to buy it and put it on my cell phone.
I'm gonna pick the cruiserweight to beat Frank Mir on the undercard.
Okay, I like it.
That's right. He's on this. Yeah,
there's a 70-pound difference on this.
Frank Mir is a plus 900.
Is he?
He's not a favorite.
Oh, he's not.
Nope.
How old is the guy he's fighting?
44.
And how old is Frank Mir?
41.
That was my question.
Frank Mir outweighs him by probably
70 pounds.
Wait, Frank Mir
70 pounds.
Is the underdog or is not?
He's the underdog.
Because he never punched anybody's life, I don't think, in the UFC.
Frank Mir?
No, he knocked out Nogueira.
Did he?
Yeah. He fought in the UFC.
I mean, for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not punch-wise. He was more of a grappler.
He was a grappler.
Oh,
okay. Like Askren.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's the thing with Askren. Askren is not a striker.
So real quick,
and his face got destroyed by Masvidal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Jake Paul is no Masvidal, though.
No, definitely not. We are doing a little bit of the McKenna for our boy Joe on his birthday.
Old favorite.
Joe came with a little tip of wax the glass with a little bit of orange, and we're gonna see how this tastes with a little McKenna. Cheers, boys! Happy birthday, Joe!
Thank you, guys.
Birthday.
Happy birthday! That's nice.
I mean, the McKenna's just delicious.
I didn't get much of the orange.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I got anything from the orange. Yeah, I did have it recently though, and I didn't watch the guy make it.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
He added the orange, and it really gave it a little something. Might just be I got a shitty orange, but who knows?
Joe, did you have an old fashioned and not realize it?
No, it was definitely not an old fashioned. It was the orange peel with 10-year whistle pig.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it really did make a difference. But, teach his own.
I think it's a difference because it's a rye and not a...
Oh, that could be it. Like totally. So, here are my thoughts on the fight tonight. Mainly Ben Askren, Jake Paul. The fact that Jake Paul is coming out and saying that he's got early onset CTE.
But he backed off on that already.
That dude can go fuck himself on that shit. Here you go. I mean, I think a small part of him is scared that he's going to lose this fight, especially given how flubby Ben Askren looked coming into this. And he goes, if this guy literally whoops my ass and knocks me out, like I need a something in my back. Yeah, an excuse, a scapegoat. Yeah. Because if he's got early CTE, Ben Askren being a fighter in this game for years and years and years is
he backed off that CTE stuff.
Yeah,
that's also
I honestly didn't even know CTE was discoverable until you were dead.
I don't think it is.
No,
it's not. You can have brain scar. You can have.
That's why I said.
But you can't diagnose with CTE until.
No, but you can tell
until you're dead.
But you can look at a boxer and tell. All right, his brain's not.
How many he's got?
He's like scar tissue.
Also, he's not a real boxer. He hasn't really fought like a real boxer.
That's my argument. Is like you got guys who have been fighting since they were 15, and now they're like Conor McGregor.
Yeah, but they talk about kids who play helmet or tackle football. Like high school kids from River School High School that they have CTE.
Yeah, I'm sure Sean can.
The Google machine will tell us.
I feel like this is a thing.
If you can diagnose CTE before...
I feel like this is a thing where people are making a larger deal out of this than it actually is. And by that, I mean Jake Paul. I don't know if it's nearly as big as what he's trying to say, but I think he's literally trying to create like if I lose, it's because of this thing bullshit. I think... Oh, man, I don't know if I have a lock. All right.
CTE can be diagnosed only post-mortem by examining the brain tissue of the deceased subjects.
Yeah. But I think that they've come through and they've started to...
But they're working on, there's a place in San Diego that's working on trying to...
So it's just, I feel like it's just bullshit from Jake Paul. Like, he's just trying to create a scapegoat. I honestly think with Ben Askren's monumental amount of just experience alone, the fact that he is I mean, he was never anything in the UFC. He was never a big deal in the UFC.
He also didn't go until a year ago or two.
Yeah, he should have lost to Rogan.
He was a one champion, multi-belt one champion, I believe. I think Ben Askren's going to win. That's my lock of the century.
I also don't understand the rules.
The Joe C. lock of the century.
So we'll get that out tonight. What time? We'll get that out before the fight.
I also just don't understand. I also don't understand one. Joe, can you explain to me on one why they can knee people on the ground and the UFC that's highly frowned upon?
Oh, because
we're talking about what's his face?
You're talking about
the
Yeah.
You're overseas. You're in Japan.
Understand that, but I'm saying why are the rules so drastically different? It seems cheap to me that you're on the ground.
I think they go based on. If you ever seen old Pride fights, like old Pride fights used to be able to punt guys while they're in the head while
whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you say? Krokoff. Woo! Oh, baby.
Yeah.
That's bad.
You used to do soccer kicks.
I'm just saying, I think that's, I mean, if you look at, I feel like Demetrius Johnson, who's fought in the UFC for a very long time, maybe he, in that little moment, forgot that he could get kneed in the head when he was down on the ground like that.
Well, no, he did.
No, he literally said that he was not, he didn't think he could get kneed in the head.
Yeah. I think it was just, I mean, different rules for different things. In the UFC, you can't drop an elbow from 12 to 6.
That's the only John Bones.
But in reality, I think it's just a perception thing where you think, oh, this is coming down, I'm going to be able to kill someone with it, and that's not true, but it's just a perception thing.
Yeah, but the knee...
Now, the knee is a very different story, but it's just, hey, different rules.
I can't think of how many fights in the UFC would have ended if you could knee people like that.
I think one is...
Well, that's the one guy who got DQ'd. We won on the fight, was the guy kneed him on the ground.
Yeah. I think one was...
Can I hit him? Yeah.
Based in Asia.
No.
Kind of like Pride.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to turn it into a UFC thing, but rules are different there.
Yeah.
Man.
They're on TNT now.
There's not universal MMA rules. It goes by pretty much country by country.
Yeah.
Well, we need to get that shit together. What the fuck? Dana, work on it, baby. I have the Uber coming. It's just it's taking a sweet time.
No worries. I just wanted to
man's not moving.
Just wanted to make sure.
We're going to one of the best bars in Chicago, but it's not the same as it once was. But Chris told me today you can go in the actual bar. It's just first come, first serve.
Yeah, so if you look at the website online,
maybe we could get it because I did a like an open table type reservation.
But you still have to be at a table in the actual bar. You can't be loosely around, correct?
I'm assuming that's the case. I don't think any place.
I was thinking about that when we were trying to figure out for Joe what we wanted to do. I was like, I would go bowling again later at night. I would go later at night at bowling just for the music and the dancing because it felt like it was almost a club. Yeah. It was so much fun when we did it for my birthday. Like, just even the music. Forget the bowling. Just sit there and drink huge pitchers of beer and get it going.
Night
you know
bowling when they turn on the
Cosmic bowling, boys.
That's what it is. Cosmic bowling. It is the absolute bomb.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Joe, I have a question for you. Because you sent out earlier this week the movie trailer for the Hitman, the Hitman's bodyguard or girlfriend, the
Hitman's wife's bodyguard.
Yeah, or something like that.
I forget the title. Yeah.
Did you see the movie trailer for Suicide Squad? I mean, we and you went to go see the original one together for date night.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
You want to do it? You want to do date night?
I'm thinking about it. I don't know. How do you feel about it? I didn't like it.
It's being released on HBO, so we can't go to a movie theater.
Well, we can get ordered in.
Oh, okay.
We can get ordered in. We can watch it.
I think we do it.
But how do you feel about it? I quite didn't understand what the hell was going on.
So here's my yes, it does look. It looks bonkers.
Is the guy like the government agent, FBI, Army guy, the same guy from the last movie?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
I couldn't figure that out either.
So a couple people that came over from the last movie were the main guy who's the biggest thing I know him from is the first season of Altered
He was trying to
Carbon.
save his girlfriend in the first one.
Yes. He
was
in the first season of Altered Carbon. He's a very famous actor. I can't remember his name. So him and
Margot
Robbie are the two that I know are like guaranteed to carry over from the last movie.
Okay.
Everybody else is new. Sylvester Stallone is doing the voice of King Shark, which is this enormous like man.
No,
shark
he is definitely.
Is it? Yeah, I didn't know that.
And then you got John Cena.
You got Pete Davidson.
Idris Elba. You got a lot of big stars in this, and it's being directed by James Gunn.
Didn't they pan the first one? Didn't they pan the first Suicide Squad?
I didn't mind the first one.
It was okay. This one though is written and directed by James Gunn, who did all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Did he get fired?
Nice.
So when he got fired from Marvel, DC's like, cool story, bro. Let's pick him up. And then they made him do this movie. And then Marvel was like, no, we saw. Come back. And now he's directing Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So on that alone, I am going to see this movie 100%. Watching the trailer, it looks like absolute hysteria and bonkers. I wouldn't say garbage.
I didn't like it. I did not like the trailer at all.
I think it'll be a good movie.
Is it because Will Smith's not there anymore?
I think it'll be a good movie
I couldn't figure out from the trailer what the hell they were doing. Like it sounded like they were trying to save Margot Robbie, but it feels like that happens in like the first 5 minutes of the movie, and I have no idea what the hell they're doing afterwards.
Yes, I legitimately think everything in that trailer is in the first 30 minutes of the movie, and then the rest of it is going to be something different. Yeah. And I think they're just like, hey, we're going to throw you on a wild ride for the first 30 minutes, and then we'll get into the story. Yeah. We'll throw some story stuff in there.
And then besides Batman, DC can't get their shit together.
No. Although listen, we're skipping over the best part of this. Is the Hitman 2, The Bodyguard's Wife is coming out.
Yes.
And the trailer had me dying. Ryan Reynolds in comedy is the best.
Dude, he's a great action star. He's a great comedy star.
It was hilarious. I love that he's got to go on sabbatical, and he's going on sabbatical and can't kill anybody. And he pepper sprays, and Samuel Jackson is like, "Are you pepper spraying a motherfucker?"
Yeah. I hope to God that doesn't stand most of the movie. It'll be funny 30 minutes in. If we're towards the end of the movie and this motherfucker's not killing people, I'm like, dude, you better pick up a fucking gun. Let's do this thing.
All right, boys. But Joseph, hopefully this has been a fun birthday podcast.
I did finish my Smirnoff Ice.
Smash.
My Smirnoff Ice Smash. Red, white, and berry.
Yeah, buddy.
And now he's eating some cereal.
Well, listen, I got to get a pack of that freaking...
You probably want to refrigerate that milk.
Yeah, we were supposed to...
Oh, this is Fairlife. It's ultra pasteurized. You can probably keep this shit on the shelf.
That's scary.
Yeah.
For 3 or 4 days.
Forever. Well, I'm stealing a box of the Frosted Cheerios.
Absolutely.
Because we were supposed to... The whole thing was actually we're going to eat it on the podcast, but we got to a real talk, and it would have been awkward if we were eating... The best part was when Joe was eating... Are those actual packages?
Yeah.
Oh, they're not boxes anymore?
No. Eco-friendly.
That's too expensive, bro.
Wow, bro.
Can't pay for the cardboard no more.
Bro, what is that? Like an ounce of freaking cereal? Man, that's depressing.
Here's this cost me $9.99.
Listen, it was close to that. Okay, hot minute here. We're gonna go what grinds Peter gear? Inflation is killing me. I went and spent $50 at Walmart. I walked away with nothing that would last more than 5 minutes. Are you kidding me?
You're buying the wrong things.
Possibly.
You know what, Pat? I didn't think about it that way. And on that note, he might be right. So, Joseph, happy birthday, buddy. Hopefully we're going to be celebrating birthdays on a podcast for a while here. Check us out on at the podcast, S&P for Instagram and Twitter. Email us at the snppodcast@gmail.com. Comments and likes. Let us know what's going on. We hope you guys have a great weekend and a great week. Get your pregame in. The weather's getting nice, so hopefully there's going to be some summertime coming up. And thank you for listening.
This is Kangaroo Court, sir. Bye!